back again. Roasty, welcome in. Roasty, how loud is the music versus the dishwasher on the stream? I might have to turn off the dishwasher. Chicken? Mostly hear the dishwasher. Okay, alright, we'll turn off the dishwasher. Roasty, how was your day? Did you work? Almost off. Working overtime. Love to hear that. Love to hear the working overtime part. Love a hard worker. So we're gonna do. I got a bunch of wings. I bought like 5 pounds of chicken wings. So we're gonna do a few things. We're gonna do one of my favorites, salted pepper wings, and we're also gonna make just like some plain old, like seasoned. I've got this Japanese barbecue sauce. This stuff right here, the yuzu citrus. They say barbecue. It's almost like some kind of teriyaki or something. Yeah, yuzu. It's got a good ginger kick to it anyway. And some citrus. We could probably citrus it up a little more. We do have a lemon here. If we want to go that way. The traditional salt and pepper wings have like that fried thing, but they also have the aromas of peppers and onions and garlic. So we've got some Fresno chilies and jalapeno, and then we're also going to do a little cucumber salad. I got a nice cucumber. So we're going to get to chopping it up over here. And give these a quick rinse. If you read that too quick, it looks like it says I love you. So I jumped to the store today, grabbed chicken, some paper towels, and some blueberries. I might do some blueberries with our angel food cake. It's pretty hot here today. I wanted to like cook with the stove as little as possible, so that's kind of what we're doing here. You can wear gloves if you want to with jalapeno. I'm just gonna make sure that I'm very careful about washing my hands, but we're just gonna cut this in half, and then I like to press down flat and then try to sweep through, but it's a little bit slippery. So maybe we try it from the other side first. There we go. And then you just get seeds everywhere. You slap the back of it, and the seeds come flying out. I like the way that sounds. I can't help myself. Now usually I see this in like rounds, but I'm just gonna cut it kind of like a green pepper. I should actually taste and see how spicy this is too. Respectable. Respectable. Check how spicy this guy is too. I like the sweetness on it. This knife needs to be sharpened. I'm going to use that other half in the cucumber salad. Put these guys aside. Just be careful if you're cutting towards yourself. Or don't cut towards yourself. One of those two. Most of the seeds and stuff out of the way. And what I usually like to do is snip the end part off there, and then usually it makes it easier to get to this thinner outer part, which we don't want to keep. And then what I like to do for this is just a sweet onion, Vidalia onion. Oops, I missed the trash. Try not to miss the trash. I like to usually, well, I guess I'll cut it in half so it's not taking up so much. But I like to cut it with the bands on the onion. That's probably plenty of onion, honestly. Pretty nice little clove of garlic here. And I'm going to take 2 cloves, and this is a big old clove. And you just take the root end off. Sometimes it's big and sometimes it's more than 1 clove in one. That's what this one is. And I usually like to smack it like that with the back of my hand. And if you do it hard enough, or if there's enough, well, it's 3 cloves in one. Usually smack it with the back of my hand, and the paper comes right off. There we go. This one didn't get crushed enough, so it might be a little bit more tricky. Put that one aside and just one more time. Just a little bit. Sometimes if the paper is not completely dried out, like if you have a really nice fresh garlic, it doesn't separate as easily. And thankfully these are pretty fresh. Actually, this one looks a little bruised now, but yeah, pretty fresh. So I'm just gonna cut it in thin slices. And I like to add it separately, so I like to add the garlic at the end when I'm sauteing everything.
Frick garlic.
There you go, Abe. You don't need garlic for everything. I think that the fullness of the flavor of garlic in this dish is part of the reason that I love it so much, too. So, we're going to do some salt and pepper wings, like at the Chinese places. And then we got this Japanese barbecue sauce. We're going to do some wings up like this. And then whatever we feel like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gather my Fresno and jalapenos and onions. This is just sweet onion. I'm going to put those all together. And I'm going to put those nice pieces of garlic right on the end there. Put some more onion back in there. Also doing that cucumber salad, so I'm just going to very thinly finish up this onion. Oh, I'm sorry. I still haven't figured that out. Maybe if I get it off of like Blurb or something. So, KT, how's it going? We have no snoozes? Somebody's been snoozing for me. I appreciate you. Board is starting to fly around here, so one more slap. Slap your garlic. Just like saying garlic now. There's a tough end there. Makes more noise than it actually needs to, but. And then we're just gonna mince it up. Give it a good lean with the back of your palm. This doesn't have to be super fine. I'm just trying to get the big pieces cut down because sometimes when you smash it, you get like a big piece and like a bunch of little pieces. But this is our minced garlic. We're going to cook that down before we put it in our salad. We got a nice cucumber here. Put those guys aside. And then, oops, you're gonna have to roll it when you're cutting it. You can leave those in. Some people like to smash the garlic, smash the cucumber there. I just cut it out. And then just like a nice little bite-sized pieces there. You can also just use a spoon with the halves if you're going to do this way. It's okay if you leave some seeds in. Sometimes seeds can give people digestive troubles. I'm not that old yet, but I figure I'll tell all you youngins. We did like a family trip one year, and my mom told me that my stepfather can't eat cucumbers because they give him gas. Okay? So I told my stepsister that. And my stepsister told her dad that. She's like, "Oh, I heard you can't bring cucumbers because they give you gas." And he goes, "That's not true." Became a whole point of contention. He was very upset about it, apparently. I told my mom I think it was just her cooking. Alright. Well, it wasn't like we told everybody. It was only a couple people that were in charge of some food. We're just going to salt these guys pretty generously. They're going to lose a lot of the salt to the water that they're going to let go. And we won't need to add any salt later. Just getting all up in there. You don't have to squeeze them too much. And then we're going to put our sweet onion in there too. Let things get kind of married over here. Not too much onion. Again, this is Vidalia sweet onion, or Vidalia, however they say it in Georgia. I'm not from there. Another kind of unusual thing, I don't usually add this at the beginning. I usually add this to the dressing, but I'm going to add a little bit of it now, is some sugar. Sugar and salt are very, are usually combined in Chinese cooking. This is like a Chinese kind of dish, if you will. Hi, Hilda. Just a little bit. Yeah, this is one of those girl dinner things. Anything off the Greek mezza plate plus some... Today's actually National Cheese Day. So maybe we can give the dog some cheese too. I'm just going to let that sit. Any liquid that comes out of this, we're going to drain off. We're not using it in our salad. And I haven't forgotten about this guy. We're just going to try to get in there. This is almost like a mature red pepper. It's just a Fresno chili. It's not quite as hot as a red chili, but it's not quite as sweet as a bell pepper. But it tastes kind of like a bell pepper. I'm just going to chop it up into little pieces. It'll look like this hotter than it is. It'll scare away all the old ladies, you know. I'm just going to toss that in too. And look at paper towels here. Everything's expensive nowadays, but for some reason I was shocked at how much these paper towels were going for. I got like the cheapest ones I could. Alright, I need a little pan. I took a pan out. Where did I put it? It smells really good, by the way. The cucumber and stuff. It smells really good. I have a little pan that I can't find. I thought I took it out for myself. Oh, we're playing that game again. There it is. So we're just going to turn on our burner here on like medium-low heat. That already tastes really good. All I did was salt and pepper, or not even pepper. All I did was salt it. We're going to let that sit, like I said. We're going to give it a little shake. Get rid of some water. I'm just going to grab another drink here while we're cooking. going to use a little bit of olive oil here. And to that olive oil, I'm going to add a little bit of sesame oil. So I like this one. I like Sunlux Pure Sesame. Whatever you can find and substitute with is good. Just watch out, sometimes they're salted. You don't want to get the salted one. And you don't want to accidentally grab the one that says chili oil on it too, because there's actually a hot sesame oil. Unless that's your thing, if you want like a chili / sesame oil, it's going to be really delicious. But you have to be prepared for it to be really spicy. Just so you know. And this one doesn't have a stopper on it, so I have to be careful. And just add a tooch. Just a little tooch. We're limited in distance here. Hold on a second. I'm just gonna unplug my phone. I have my phone plugged in. I can smell a delicious smell of sesame oil as it heats up. Nice and aromatic. You can use any neutral oil with this too. You just don't want it to be like, it can be a little overpowering. I think they gave my number. Oh no! That's scary. Was it your phone number that they gave, or was it actually on your account? We're not sizzling yet here, friends. I'm going to turn this up a little bit. Sometimes this heat's a little slow when it's on low. But this pan heats up really quickly, so I was surprised. There we go. See? Heats up quickly. We just want to cook the raw part out of the garlic. We're already starting to get some liquid here. I don't know if you can see that. We're already starting to get some liquid out of our cucumber. You don't want this to be too high because the garlic, the sugars and starches in garlic burn pretty quickly on hot pans. So just kind of low. Like I said, we're just trying to lightly cook the raw flavor out. We're not trying to brown it or change any of that. We're just trying to lightly cook it. Usually it only takes about 30 or 40 seconds, but we're on like a lower heat, so it might take a minute. And we can add all of this oil too. We're not going to give up any of this flavor. It smells great. It smells really, really good. One of my favorite things. You can actually cook cucumbers. I've seen cooked cucumbers in like lo mein and stuff before. Like I said, I'm starting to smell it get a little bit nutty, and that's when you know that your garlic is starting to get cooked through. So I'm probably just going to take this off heat now, and we can get to making a sauce for or start marinating some chicken wings for about 15 minutes before we set up our cakes and stuff. So I'm just going to put that over here. Put the spoon right in there too. And I'll show you what I got for chicken wings. Just get some of these seeds and stuff off of here. it's something baked into the glaze. That's weird. No wonder it was a factory second. Alright, we've got some no antibiotics, no hormones, cage-free USDA, all-natural chicken. It was a little bit more expensive by about $1 a pound than the other chicken wings from Purdue, but we wanted to get the good stuff. So sometimes with chicken, you're going to see bits and pieces you don't like. Chicken was a living thing. Some of these chickens were could be previously frozen. This one doesn't say. But what I like to do is give these a little soak first. So we're just going to put some like room temperature water in here. And if you see anything you don't like on your chicken wings, the other good thing about these is they were already pre-cut. If you see anything you don't like on your chicken wings, I'm just going to switch knives so I don't have to mess around. Because you can just cut it off. You know, nobody's asking you to live with anything you don't want to eat. That's just blood. It's just a little blood clot from the butchering process. But we're going to get rid of a lot of that blood. This should turn the water kind of pink when you give them a rinse. And the only like precautionary tale I'd say is that, you know, any of this water that touches this chicken becomes like a safety issue. So like try to make sure you keep everything kind of separated from wherever you're cooking or doing any other stuff. So like I'm not worried about this because I just did all my chopping and whatnot on here, but I'm just gonna, you know, gently massage my wings. And maybe you can see the water is a little bit off color. I already dumped one batch of it because it wasn't super filthy or anything, but it's going to get a little pink. And then we're going to dry these guys off after they've sat for a little bit. But while we're doing that, we can make a marinade. We'll come back and show you how we purified our chicken wings a bit. What I'm going to do for a marinade is some soy sauce, some oyster sauce. That's Worcestershire sauce. This is the spicy oyster sauce. I already warned you guys against accidentally grabbing the spicy one. I did it. Spicy Cantonese oyster sauce. Whoops. Yo, what's up, Connie? What's up, or Canny? Canny Biz? Canny Bounce? Canny Biz? Lone Star, what's up? Thank you for the 3-stream streak. I'm going to just eyeball about a tablespoon of oyster sauce. And this is about 2.5 pounds of wings, just a reminder for you guys. I know some of you saw them earlier. About a tablespoon of soy sauce. We are not boneless, we are bone-in. And we're going to do about 2 tablespoons of our rice wine vinegar. This is just regular old sodium free. And then, pardon my reach, I just want to grab a couple of things out of here. White pepper, that's it. Just a little bit of garlic powder. We're going to be adding garlic powder to the rest of the chicken, so we're not going to add a ton here. And then a generous amount of white pepper. I like to add to the marinade a little bit of black pepper, but the seasoning mix we're going to use, we're going to be using just white pepper. It's the main flavor of these salted pepper wings. Generous bit of salt to go with our soy sauce. And then we wouldn't really be doing it right. Wouldn't really be doing it right if we didn't hit it with the old MSG. Just a pinch. We aren't trying to be crack-addled junkies here. Just a pinch. We might add some more later. I like sesame, so we'll have a little bit of sesame there too. And just a little pinch of sugar. So we just, hell yeah. Crack the bones and suck the marrow. That's hardcore. I usually let that stuff go into my sauces and stuff. So you're like, that doesn't look like enough marinade for all that chicken. Well, it's gonna be fine. Don't you worry. Just make sure we get as mixed up as well as possible. Yum. That garlic is smelling amazing right now. Actually need to add a little bit more vinegar to this. I said 2 tablespoons is more like 4. There we go. And I'm going to be a little bit sneaky and I'm going to put a little bit of this citrus and champagne vinegar in there. Gives a little bit of that citrus kick. I think it'll be nice. We're already working with the yuzu citrus thing, but these flavors are going to be the start of our marinade here. Yum. Take a little of that garlic out of there too. So we just sauteed up a little bit of garlic with a little bit of sesame oil and olive oil. We're going to be adding it to this, which is our cucumber salad. We're just waiting for the cucumbers to set and release some more liquid with our salt mixture, which we just did. So you can see we've got some water already started here. We're going to dump the water and we're going to keep the seasoning that we added. Okay. What next? So we can put this stuff aside. We're going to dump our chicken wings. We just rinsed our chicken wings off and put this stuff back in the fridge too. So you can see we just let these sit for like 3 to 5 minutes, and you can tell the water's a little bit cloudy. There's some stuff like kind of floating around, but you can see a lot of the pink and red has come out of the bones, the ends of the bones here, and it'll just help them be a little less gamey. This knife, this is, I had this knife since I was 15. It's a Henkel. I think my dad gave it to me for Christmas. It's just like a 6-inch chef's knife. It's barely been sharpened out. You'd think if I had a knife that long and cooked that much, like professionally, it would be like a fillet knife by now, but yeah, I've had it for a long time. Good stainless steel German knife. So anything, like I said, anything you see you don't like, you can kind of massage some of it around to get some of the stuff out. But you can see it. That's some cloudy water. We're going to dump that water. Try not to get it everywhere, just in your sink. I'll give them one more quick rinse just to make sure everything came off the surface. Actually, I like to face my knife away. I'm just going to put some paper towel down so that we can dry these bad boys off. And again, these are the fancy wings still. This isn't a bad quality wing. Let's see if we can get all of these on this paper towel. Might have to squeeze up on some of these. And if you do dump water like this in your sink, I do say make sure you, when you're cleaning your sink at night, just make sure you're really disinfecting your sink. I don't want anybody to get sick. I don't like to get sick myself. I don't think I have given myself anything, fortunately, but I also make sure I disinfect my sink. So. We're gonna let these guys dry off a bit. I just washed my hands, probably a little prematurely, but this is a lot of paper towel. I just complained about how expensive they are, but these chicken wings are gonna be worth it. So. I'm gonna put these guys aside. We'll come back to our cucumber salad. And what I'm going to do is just take the excess water out. You can drain it in a colander or something if you want. I'm just going to tip it over. They kind of taste like pickles. They're so salty, but not in a bad way. All right. Getting up in here with our minced garlic and garlic oil.